This is Robert with DC Trolling Motor, and today we're doing a simple unboxing of the Mighty Max Group 34 12 volt 60 amp battery. So on the table here I have one that's already been unboxed, and it's just a standard battery, but it's just a little smaller than what we would normally use for our trolling motor. And one of the primary reasons is that this battery is the largest class size, what we consider a lightweight battery. So it could be used in a small aluminum boat or even a kayak. I would strap it down to the kayak in case of an accident, of course. So let's go ahead and start by opening this up. When you're using a box knife to open these kind of boxes, make sure that you cut at a slight angle so that way you don't cut into anything important. That's not an issue here though, because we start with a bunch of packing. We don't need that. And then we go to some foam, which is great because that protects the top of the battery from any damage. I'll show you this. And in here, we have more cardboard packing. Now, normally if the battery isn't spillable, I would just open the box up. And a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that to show you how I do that. Now, again, take your knife and you put it at an angle so it cuts away from the battery. And then you go like that, cutting away from the battery. I have a smoker channel and I open a lot of smokers this way because usually they're pretty heavy for one person to lift. And you see how all of that just comes right apart and you can just peel it away. And then you can up and lift this one over here and get rid of all this garbage. Now again, it's the same thing. If I want to, I could just cut the box open. I'm not going to do that in this case, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to just open the tape. Again, holding my knife to the side, I use my thumb as a rest on the box. So when I open the primary box, and this is the manufacturer box, it's well labeled, so it's not a shipping box. And then first thing I find inside is some foam with a little rest for the bolts. That foam in that box. And then a product registration, and you scan it to register your battery. It says that it gives you an extra 3 months by doing so. And here we go. This is a 40-pound battery, or actually 39 pounds. I'm just going to lift it and I'm just going to drop the box and away it goes. And here we go. All the pertinent information is listed right here on the side, so you can see all the details of the battery in case at some point you forget. And we have these two bolts here, and some people choose to replace the bolts with studs in case you're doing like multiple wires and stuff. If you're only doing one wire, I say stick with the bolts. If you're doing two, probably the same. But if you're going to go with 3 wires on a terminal, then I would take and buy yourself a stud at your local hardware store, take your screw in there, match the threads exactly, and then you can put it in there and then use a nut on the top to lock it down. Each one of these nuts includes a flat washer and a lock washer, and these are hex Phillips nuts, so you can use a wrench or you can use a screwdriver. I wouldn't use a screwdriver to torque it, but I might use a screwdriver for quick assembly. So just for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and put these in here. A lot of times on the first use, there's a little bit of resistance. It's probably been machined and it's probably never been threaded before, but this one went nice and smooth. So that pretty much covers these batteries here. I'm going to go over the details really quick one more time so that way we have those. This is the Mighty Max Group 34 battery. It's a 12 volt AGM 60 amp battery. They call it an SLA, but that's also similar to a VRLA, which is a valve release. So there is breathers inside here that will release pressure if it were to get over temperature to prevent explosions or anything like that. But for the most part, you will not have any issue with anything leaking because the AGM glass mats will prevent acid from flowing out. You can mount these in any direction. I still only mount them straight up. It's just a habit of mine. But if for some reason, like if you wanted to put it in a kayak where there was limited room, or maybe even a canoe, you could lay it down sideways and slide it underneath the battery like this and have no issues. Don't forget, when you're using a battery like this, to always use some type of terminal fuse or block. You'll see in the description, or you can find on my channel, inline fuses, which the terminal block one is an excellent choice for this when you're using it in a small boat or something like that. I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I will be doing a full test video of this battery to make sure that it lives up to its amps. Each one is 60 amps. One thing to remember with an AGM or any lead acid battery, never go below 50% or you will damage the battery. So we will just put it at 50%, use that much power, and then reuse it to make sure that the power hasn't dropped off. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.